quote-unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People are going to have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
I got nothing.
Just a reminder of the whole border czar thing.
Yeah. I mean, the caliber of which they are discussing.
Have you seen the compilation?
Oh, yeah.
The whole border czar?
Yeah.
It's like a one after another.
She never said that.
And speaking of...
What?
Speaking of... I don't know if it's on here. Is it on here? There's so many things. No. But, now that I brought that up, there's the clip that... I think, was it MSN or CNN? I think it might have been CNN. They took a clip or clips of Joe Rogan talking about like, oh, look, even Joe Rogan's endorsing Kamala Harris. Did you see that?
No.
No? It was, I think his guess was, it was Michael Malice.
She's going to win.
No, she's not.
She can win. I feel like we are in this very bizarre time where people are giving in to the bullshit in a way that I never suspected people would before. And this is one, they just want no Trump, no matter what, and they're willing to gaslight themselves. They think that, and by the way, I think Hillary could win. If Hillary jumped back in.
I've been saying that for months.
If Hillary jumped back in.
And I watched this.
I feel like Hillary could win.
If you watch the whole unedited clip, they were not talking about Kamala Harris. The context of what they were talking about during that conversation was basically Joe was talking about how, in his eyes, he goes, it's kind of wild to me right now. We're living in a time where everybody could just be bullshitted to a point where you know it's bullshit, but you're just willing to go along with it. Like, yeah, of course. And they were talking about, you know, how with Kamala Harris, there's this constant, this is who we want. It's a woman of color. You know,
she's not black.
She is. She's 50-50. She's half Indian, half black. That she is. The point I think a lot of people say is like, well, I thought she was Indian because when she was first getting into politics, she was running on the I'm Indian. Like,
I'm not black.
Yeah, that was her,
words came out of her mouth.
That was her whole,
I'm not black.
That was her whole thing. She was Indian. But then, you know, the voting base shifted, and now what they're targeting is a black community. So suddenly she's black again. When people say, like, the average Joe says, oh, she's either not black, or they'll say, well, she was Indian, now she's black. She's both. It's just, what side do you going to pull from? That'd be like me going today, like, well, today I'm Italian, but tomorrow I'm Norwegian, and the day after that, I'm British.
Yeah, but there were clips I've seen when she first started in politics where she promoted it. Yep. I'm not black.
And I don't doubt that. Like I said, that's because she was going for an Indian thing. I mean,
how is she vice president? She wasn't even born in America. She got a Canadian birth certificate, I heard.
Is that true?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Let's see what Google says. You do DuckDuckGo, I'll do Google.
Okay, I guess for this. Welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
All right, DuckDuckGo. That is not what I'm looking for. All right, what am I searching?
If she was born in America.
Oh, not if, was. Was Kamala born? There we go. Quick search, DuckDuckGo. I got born in California, Oakland, California, 64.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
But that doesn't necessarily. That doesn't mean she can't have a Canadian.
So here's the thing, though.
Okay.
For her parents, even though they were she was born in America,
which would automatically make her eligible for presidency. Born in America,
but she wasn't an American-born citizen. She was
no.
Born
That
to
automatically makes her an American citizen by United States law. If you like, let's say two people from India are vacationing here, and a pregnant woman, 9 months, gives birth in the United States, they automatically have U.S. citizenship because they were born within the United States. Should that change? That's a completely different topic. But that is what it is. So she was born in California, whether they were Canadian citizens, that still makes her eligible to run for presidency in office.
Okay. Okay. So I've been educated.
Anywho, yeah. So going back, they had the video clip of Joe Rogan edited, so it looks like they were talking about Kamala Harris. That conversation was about Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, they were saying she has all the tools of everything they want. She's a female, a strong leader. She is a minority. She's Hawaiian. She served 2 tours in, I think, was it Afghanistan?
No shit.
She, she's a politician, whatever. So that's everything they wanted. And she was a Democrat at the time. But she doesn't play ball, much like the whole Trump thing. Like, she doesn't play ball with the system. So they attacked her. And then to the point where she just left. And then, well, she left because she saw where the Democratic Party was going.
Yeah.
So she's like, I can't support this.
I remember that.
Right. So that's what they were talking about. And Michael Mouse is there. Michael Mouse is like an anarchist and everything. But so he's all of this like, yeah, I'll attack anybody, you know. So that's what they were talking about. And I watched that. I watched the show. And it's funny because when I saw it, I'm like, I saw the clip. I'm like, that's not what they were talking about. Like, I watched this show. And it was like 2 days prior. I was at work. I was like, yeah I'll listen to this. Michael Mouse. I like Michael Mouse. I'm like, that's not what they fucking talking about.
So
I know it's not.
Did Joe clap back?
I haven't heard anything on Joe. I know the internet did. They sure the fuck did, because they're like, no. And the thing is, immediately when I saw the internet like bringing this out, because I didn't know I don't go on like MSN's like site or anything. I don't look for these clips, but you know, internet does internet things. And they were started saying it's like, this never happened. I'm like, what? So I go on one of their pages and I look it up, and it's still there. Like, they didn't take it down or anything. I'm like, okay, so we're at the point now where a media news group will fabricate a narrative from a show, blatantly put it out there, get called out, and double down on it. This is what Joe was talking about. We've just reached the point where we are getting bullshitted, and half the aisle will be like, of course it is. It's true. I'm seeing it right here. But you can tell, it's like, no, this is edited, which a lot of clips are edited. But it's at such a point where it's just so bullshit. There's anyone with any kind of logical sense look at it and be like, no. Much like me, when I looked at the clip, like, that's not what they're fucking talking about at all. What are we doing here?
Well, it's like this. Hold on. Let me see if I can find. You keep talking. I'm going to see if I can find the clip.
So, it started with, that was one of the things that started, like, what am I going to talk about this show? So, like, you know what? Let's just go in on Kamala. I researched some of her things. The biggest one that's been talked about, maybe not the biggest one, because there's a couple that were huge. But maybe the most important one was the whole delegate argument, like how she got into the position where she is. It's like, well, there's 14 million votes. There was, just under 4,000 delegate positions, and 14 million voters voted for whatever delegates they wanted to nominate, who they wanted to nominate for the DNC. So the first argument was the whole voter base, or the citizens, going, there's 14 million votes, none of them were for Kamala Harris, so how is she just, she's installed? The argument was, well, they voted for delegates. The delegates are the ones that vote for whatever person they want to put in office, right? Okay. So that would, I think, silence a lot of people. Here's the problem. Out of those, it was like 4,800 some delegates, like 3,500 of them were pledge delegates. Pledge delegates are, and this argument was conveniently left out, pledge delegates are delegates that are voted on to specifically nominate one person.
Yeah.
And most of them were for Joe Biden. Those delegates who were voted to vote for Joe then voted for Kamala. You can't do that. And this is where the whole argument of this person was installed comes in. So right here, this is from election policy. It's ballotpedia.org. A pledged delegate is a delegate to a political party's presidential nominating convention that is pledged to support the candidate to whom they are allocated. Pledged delegates are sometimes referred to as bound delegates, most commonly by the Republican Party. Pledged delegates are distinct from unpledged delegates, commonly referred to superdelegates, which are not pledged to any one particular presidential candidate. There again, most of the delegates were pledged delegates for Joe Biden. You can't just change that. That's why everyone's saying this person was installed. Not very democratic.
So, God damn it, I'm having a hard time finding it. You know what?
Zero of the delegates, here's another one too. 0 of them were allocated to Kamala Harris. Once again, fueling she was installed, because originally she wasn't running for president.
No.
So she wasn't even in the conversation. They voted on delegates. Most of them were for Joe, pledged delegates. None of them were for Kamala. Joe gets in, steps down, Harris starts running, and then gets the nomination. She just got the nomination.
All right, hold on. So I can find it.
What are you looking for?
Paradise.
Fill me in.
Paradise PD. So there's an episode.
Another one?
Okay, here we go. There's an episode of Paradise PD.
You gotta save it and send it to me, or just send it to me on whatever.
I'm gonna show you really quick, and then I'll have to clip it and get it to you.
Is it? What's it on TikTok?
Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix. All right.
So there's a cartoon called Paradise PD on Netflix.
Actually, I probably can't put it on. It's a copyright strike. But go ahead.
So watch this.
You have to play D&D if you actually spend some time with me. Maybe you're right, Kevin. I haven't tried very hard.
Hold on, we gotta get to the
with you.
Pat Robertson.
Let's find
From
something we can
Club.
do together that we both enjoy. I thought this would be awesome, but it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, especially since that's a tape of you and Mom.
Well, porn's hard to come by since the church shut down the town's internet. Preacher Paul said that DisneyJunior.com turned his son gay.
Here we go.
Are you close? Not sure. Oh, I lost feeling 20 minutes ago.
The dog.
Smoke.
Oh no, what can I do?
Back your throat might cool it down a little.
No, oral sex is a sin. Pat Robertson said so in the 700 Club. And whatever Pat Robertson says goes.
And I'm gonna take another shit.
Watch this. This is what we got into in America. Watch. And people believe it.
Football is so lame. Let's see what's going on in the club.
Remember, and I preach this every Sunday, brothers and sisters, God wants you to give blow jobs as much as humanly possible. Because the more you give blow jobs, the more you will be rewarded in heaven. Blow jobs.
It's a clip of Pat Robertson suddenly cutting to completely different facial expressions, looking a different direction with different suits on, saying, but you're right.
That's what we've come to in America. Aren't you glad I still watch cartoons like a fucking idiot?
Yes, I am. But that is exactly where we are.
So in the scene...
And it's not even...
So in the scene, Bullet the dog...
If you call it out, you're fucking... It's like, oh my God, you're just...
So in the scene, Bullet the dog is trying to sleep with the preacher's daughter. While he alters the Bible to make it look like, okay, hand jobs are okay. Well, then he wants a blowjob. Well, then she's like, no, that's a sin. Pat Robertson said so. So then he goes to this video editing store, cuts together videos where Pat Robertson basically depicts saying blowjobs are okay. But it's 3 different people. It's the same person, 3 different scenes, like he said, different suits, different facial expressions. The videos are edited. It is as night and fucking day obvious that it is an edited video.
Gray suit, brown suit, and a blue striped suit.
And then she goes, okay.
Yeah. That's where we are.
Cartoons, man, I'm telling you.
That's where we are.
You gotta watch the serious shit. I gotta watch
the whole world. I mean, we can then weave it together.
Yeah.
Zipper pattern, the way it's supposed to be.
That's the fucking part that's the worst. It's like...
The fact that we can do that is the worst part. You're right. Yeah, the world's fake.
Oh, it's fucked.
It's about as fake as a fake accent.
Get fucked. Like Wolverine said.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. That was another thing too. I liked X23 did that. Let's fucking go. Aw, cute.
But I don't know if you've seen this. Had to have seen it.
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
So, fake accents, right?
If you go to the
But again, it's one of those things where the argument will be like, well, both sides pander. Yes, they do. Both sides do pander. That's politics. Here's the issue. Both sides pander. Republicans, or the right, will pander, but do it in the classical sense, right? They pander, it's kind of backhanded, it's under the rug, but it's there. We've gotten to the point where the left is pandering so loudly, blatantly, like this, like Hillary Clinton.
Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me.
Yeah. And it's like, look, I'm just like you. It's like if I start doing that. For all our southern folk out there that might watch us, I like you. I'm just like you. And they do that with like a serious look on their face.
9. I'm pandering to our foreign audience. Niet.
Yeah. But it's so blatant and almost insulting.
Bendeco.
But it's almost insulting.
Sorry. Off the rails, my bad, guys.
But then,
you know what's funny? I just noticed it there, too. And I'm thinking back to a lot of the Hillary videos I watched. They're not good politicians.
As far as...
stage presence.
No. Well...
You notice, here's the thing I want to point out. So I'm sitting here giving you a speech, and at the end of the day, I want to tell you about how I feel in regards to this. No, you got to pay attention to me.
Okay.
I want to tell you about how I feel about these situations and about how everything gets affected over there and over here, and how everything at the end of the day will be all well as long as you do what I tell you to do, because I'm the one who's running for president, and I'm going to be the one who gets you where you got to go. So if you pay attention to what I'm saying and what I'm doing right now, I'm not sitting there looking like it's coming. I'm sitting here trying to talk like I'm coming from the heart, like this is not scripted. But you notice everything I'm doing?
Yeah, but
I'm looking at the notes. I'm sitting there. My hands are...
Here's the argument. They have a teleprompter. So they're always looking at the screen.
Well, did both those videos... I'm sorry, what? Kamala's not very good at hiding it, and maybe maybe I'm just better at reading body language than other people.
Maybe I just wasn't reading body language. I'm just listening to the accent. I'm like, oof.
So what made Bill Clinton a great president?
He's a bullshitter.
He sat there
like
doing
Obama.
the face. He engaged you directly. He made you feel like you were the only person in the room he was talking to.
Like Obama. Well, but that's Obama. I mean, Trump does the same thing.
Every great president can sit there, talk to an audience, and make you feel like you're the only one he's talking to.
Right.
Because never breaks contact, gestures, sits there and shows the feeling, wears his heart on his sleeve, sits there and talks about the grand scheme of things, about how big everything is gotten. They sit there and they're it's sad but true. I'm not saying he was a good guy. By no means am I saying the next person I'm about to mention was a good person. He was
Hitler?
He was a horrific person.
No, but that's called charisma.
He had it,
yeah. Because here's the thing with that, is Germany was in such a bad shambles. Like, it was in shambles. It was economically, it was in shambles.
Oh, they were
But that's how all these. I mean, Mao Zedong did the same thing in China.
Yeah,
like he did the same thing in China. China was in shambles.
Unburdened them from their past.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I did that for a reason.
Yeah, that's a whole Marxist thing. But. Germany was in shambles, so you have this charismatic character come through, and you get someone like that leading in a country, a bunch of people that are suffering. Of course, they're gonna flock to him. It's like, man, this guy's speaking. He wants to make everything better. And this is probably where the left looks at Trump and be like, look, he's making everything better. We don't want that. He's fucking evil. Which is a bizarre way to take it, but I guess, I mean...
And it doesn't even have to be Trump, because people are going to sit there, if they watch this, oh, look at that, they can't get... at least there's two of them, one on the left, not a Trump, and one on the right, not a Trump. Fuck them. It could be anybody. Sad but true, Bill Clinton was a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought he was a good president.
The economy was doing well when he was president.
He had the charisma...
He had a good public persona as a president.
And things were okay with him.
The economy was good, yeah.
Yeah. So, but then when you look back and you find out a lot of the shit that went on, you're like, oh my God.
Well, much like most presidents, you go back and be like, geez, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, every president.
Yeah.
Even Trump. So no, we're not sitting there sucking on the nut of fucking Trump. The guy's good fit for the job. Does he spout off sometimes? Back in the day, yes. Has he gotten better? Hell yeah.
A little bit.
He night and day almost. I mean, he still has a long way to go.
Like I said, I think
there's 365 days in the year, and from one night to one day,
he's
made drastic improvement. But he still has a long way.
Like 97 days or something like that till elections.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
He's got plenty of time to
turn of a phrase. The calendar year is 365 days.
Right.
People sit there and say, "Oh, it's a 9-day difference." You're right, but there's also 365 days in the year.
Yeah.
The guy has a long way to go to be where he should be. But does he have the potential to do it? Fuck yeah.
Maybe. He watched tape. he watched tape of his old.
Oh yeah.
He's like, all right.
He definitely locker roomed with the coach and said, all right, coach, what do I got to find out?
Yeah, but that was with Joe, which that was almost like, that was just like
I don't think
one guy beating up a half-gone elder. Now it's Kamala, someone that's 20-some years younger. Or
I
almost
still think he's sitting there watching tape.
Oh, I'm sure he is. But now, my point is, now he doesn't have to hold back. But with Joe, especially this time around, all he had to do was keep his mouth shut. I mean, Joe's proven... I can just bury myself. No need. I'll do it. So he didn't have to do anything. He'd just be like, okay, you bury yourself. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do.
As a matter of fact, when I was a graveyard caretaker during my first Senate of 37 years.
Did you watch the video I sent? The AI? Joe Biden watching AI? Oh. Or the AI watching 1,000?
No, okay. I'm sorry. I haven't watched the video.
No, I got you.
Yeah, you look it up.
Shush.
Porn.
All right. So, let's see. Where is it? No.
Do you know there's a world record for most clicks in a minute?
Is it? Interesting. I don't care.
Oh, now I just want to masturbate. Been doing that a lot this weekend. Oh,
I forced the bot to watch over 1,000 hours of Joe Biden speeches and then asked it to write a Joe Biden speech of its own. Here's the first page. Joe Biden speech. Interior speech field. On a stage stands Joe Biden. He smells a podium from behind. A crowd roars, knowing Joe's nose smells America's woes. Bars. Joe Biden. I've been Delaware and Vice Obama. Now it's time for you to put me in a home. The White Home. Joe Biden continued. When I was younger, I had a bully named Kitchen Steve, and he stole my legs for a long weekend. Did I cry? No. I put my fist in a mailbox, and mailman delivered Kitchen Steve a letter of hurt. That was 2016. The crowd cheers that Joe can remember things, maybe well. Joe Biden continued. We are United States, but states not united. Hawaii swims away. Nobody knows where Alaska went. I say, stick them together. Get the glue.
Well, I'm relieved to see that I can still write a Joe Biden speech better than AI.
AI's awesome. So,
have you seen some of the AI like gaming videos of the presidents?
Oh yeah.
Trump, Clinton,
they came
Obama,
out that,
Bush.
Yeah, they came out.
Oh snap!
A while ago.
DJ just dropped fire on him. Shots fired. Obama. For God's sakes, Donnie, give Joe a break. Yeah, you're right. I should give that old fucker a break. He's damn near the grave anyway. Hey, fuck you, Donald.
Yeah. Those are old. I mean, they've been out a while.
I need a nickname. What's wrong with Sleepy Joe? It's getting old. I don't like it. Just like you. Old and nobody likes it.
I mean, it's true, you know. So, going all the way back.
Thank God the internet.
I know. There's some bangers out there.
There is. Just like in Deadpool Wolverine, there was definitely some bangers.
This is at the Atlanta convention. This whole 2024 thing, you know. But there was also, at the Atlanta convention, a lot of people are talking about was the Megan Thee Stallion. The free concert that they had before.
Oh.
Hi. Let's see.
You mean with the wet ass pussy twerking? No.
The difference between
big titty, little waist.
There you go. Oh. This damn thing. Careful. It's modern technology.
Supercomputer right in your hands.
I know. It's almost like...
Yaddy.
And if you want to keep loving your body, you know who to go for. Hey!
So, here we are.
'Cause I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Yada. The one thing that I saw from that, I'm like, if you want to keep loving your body, you know who to vote for. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with, what's that have to do with voting at all? You want to keep loving your body. So if you don't vote for Kamala, you hate yourself?
Wow.
God, I have a self-image problem.
If only Kamala Harris had been around when Kurt Cobain was alive.
Seriously. Or Heath Ledger.
His was accidental.
Or Michael Jackson.
His was doctor assisted.
Or Epstein.
He hung himself.
Seriously, if he would have loved himself, it would never would happen. He loved everyone else.
He loved everybody.
At a certain age.
Up to a certain age, you mean?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Definitely. Maxwell knows.
Oh.
But everyone's pandering, pandering. I just
comparing and pandering.
Yeah,
like
that is pandering.
Sexual harassment.
But yeah, so Megan Thee Stallion. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So there's Harry Sisson, a bunch of these paid left-wing media or content creators. They're comparing Trump's convention in the same building and Kamala's in the same building. So the video that they conveniently show is people filing into Trump, right? So half the seats are empty. And then part of the free concert from Megan Thee Stallion during Kamala's, when the whole crowd is like chanting and cheering and, hey, oh, left, right, whatever the fuck you do during a Megan Horse Lady fucking concert. And then, you know, the Trump thing is like, look, you can't even fill up a thing. Now, mind you, I've seen both of them. Here's a clear difference, though. When Trump is speaking, the arena was full, okay? When the concert was over, the arena was emptying. There were people leaving. This is the issue. The left will pander to the uneducated voter. What? Free concert? Megan Thee Stallion? I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that all day.
I'm going to watch that in the privacy of my own bathroom. I'll make God cry.
Well, I ain't home, but I'm going to go to the public restroom. But that's it. And the funny thing is the same people that say, look at how boring this is, and look at how like amped up the Kamala convention is, leaving out conveniently the whole Megan Thee Stallion thing. A couple weeks ago, we're saying, look, they have Hulk Hogan up there ripping his shirt off. Is this what the Republican Party has come to? I'm like, wait a minute, you can't fucking say this about Hogan and then turn around and look at, Megan Thee Stallion looks like.
Because you got to remember, like Hulk Hogan is a man.
That's right. I forgot, a white man too.
A white man,
allegedly,
who aggressively ripped his shirt off on a public podium.
Microaggression.
You have Megan Thee Stallion, who is a woman's rights activist, who is black,
and body
it's all about body positivity, about all the positive body counts she has.
Yada tism. But seriously, like, you can't.
You know what's fucked up? Here's another thing. It's so fucking crazy you say this too. You remember the Grammy? No, what? It was the MVAs.
MTV?
Music Video Awards.
Yeah.
Where
MTV still does that?
Cardi B, it wasn't long ago. It was a few, probably,
I don't know, maybe.
It was probably, I want to say 5 to 7 years ago.
All right.
Cardi B was on stage basically scissoring to Wet Ass Pussy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I think her and Meg Thee Stallion are the same person. I haven't seen.
Oh, so then I've only slept with one of them in my brain. God damn it. Thought I had 2 girls at once. But yeah, like I was saying, back then, you know, I had heard some extreme lefties. This is the stuff that they're putting on TV. This is ridiculous. Fast forward to Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
You got Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage.
That was Cardi B.
And
I think that's Cardi B, right?
Cardi B.
Yeah.
Oh, Cardi.
You got to go to jail.
Then you got Megan Thee Stallion twerking on stage at a convention promoting the Democratic president candidate. And everybody's okay with it now.
What? Yeah, it's fucking it's fucking bonkers. But also with Kamala Harris, her involvement with the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
Mm-hmm. I did hear about that.
Which is bail for rioters during the Summer of Love. You know what's funny? And I'm so glad I fucking saved this. Where is it? There it is. I saved this video, and I was like, well, I'll favorite it. And then something told me to save it, and immediately it was gone, like a day or two later. I was looking for yesterday. I was looking for it. I was like, I was like, good thing I fucking saved this. I think the internet's trying to scrub the whole Freedom Fund thing, but here it is.
Harris sending this out on X. If you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota.
Thanks to Harris's promotion, the group reportedly raised $35 million in just a few weeks.
Darnica Floyd, charged with second-degree murder for stabbing a friend to death. And she got out of jail, too. A twice-convicted rapist, currently charged with kidnapping and sexual assault, and he walks out, too.
The Freedom Fund raked in donations when it was promoted by many, including now Vice President Kamala Harris.
Son Michael Tillman shot and killed a passenger on a train platform after reportedly being released from jail 3 weeks prior. all thanks to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
Donovan Boone was charged with breaking into the home of an ex-girlfriend and choking her. Freedom Fund bailed him out for $3,000 cash, and he hasn't shown up for court since.
I often don't even look at a charge specifics when I bail someone out.
The Hennepin County attorney called out the Minnesota Freedom Fund for bailing Mosley out of jail twice previously, even though he was arrested for having a gun in the courthouse.
The Minnesota Freedom Fund, which pays cash bail for low-income criminals, paid Timms' entire $10,000 bail in cash. 11 days later, police found a man bleeding from the head and ears in this alley. Police were able to arrest Timms in connection to this violent assault.
Howard was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The Minnesota Freedom Fund acknowledged supporting Howard's bail.
Wow.
Yeah. So, she's involved with that. And the wild thing is...
You should repost it.
Is it... Oh, it's going to be on the show. And it will be clipped. The wild thing is, like I said, immediately it was scrubbed. Like, it was, you know, fucking, you look at my favorited or whatever videos, and it's like video, gray, video, gray, video, gray, video, gray, you know. A lot of shit ends up being, so I just started saving, I was like, this, I watch it like that and be like, this is gonna get fucking taken down, I know it is. So, it'll be up there. But yeah, her involvement with the Freedom Fund. And it was on her Twitter account. If you go back, last I knew it was still on there. You can go back to 2020 during the Summer of Love, and she was there posting, like I think it showed in this video clip at the beginning.
If you can chip in.
Yeah, if you can donate to it. Like, you know what's happening. It's reported over and over and over and over. It's like, listen, these people are low income. They can't afford to bail themselves out. It's like, but they're fucking violent criminals. Like,
they're going to jail for murder, rape, sexual assault.
If it's not initially what happened, they get out and then do something
of more violent crime.
Yeah. Like, oh, what the fuck?
Even Jason is like shaking his head in disgust.
That's how I feel too, Jay. Yeah, and then you brought up the whole unburdened.
Yeah.
What can be unburdened by what has been. And I have just as a reminder. Beep. Because it's fun. It takes a minute for my phone. It's slow.
Can be unburdened by what has been. What 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 we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
So what you're telling me is
unburdened by what has been. Who we can.
So what you're telling, hold on, I'm gonna finish watching. So what you're telling me is what can be unburdened by what has been done.
No.
So the people that are suffering.
What has been done. Oh, wait, no. We can do unburdened by what we have done.
So people shouldn't be, so black people shouldn't be mad at white people for slavery anymore, right?
That doesn't count.
Because we can be unburdened. What can be unburdened by what has been done. So white people in
doesn't
the
count.
future
Doesn't
don't have
count.
to worry
No,
about
no.
Be unburdened by who we have been. What can be unburdened by what has been. Where we can be, unburdened by where we have been, and unburdened by where we are right now. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What could be unburdened by what had been. What can be unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
I like how it's always things in the upper right.
Be unburdened
Wait
by
a minute,
what
she's promoting the right.
Unburdened
the
by
right can be unburdened by what the left has done.
You know what's funny you say that?
Unburdened by what has been, believing in what can be. What can be unburdened by what has been.
You know what?
She's Republican sleeper cell.
You say that, and know what's funny is you ever hear of as above, so below?
Yeah.
The satanic symbol?
Yeah.
It's the right hand up and the left one down like this. That's what she's doing the whole fucking time.
Hey. Say steel.
That's Mongol.
Ooh, August.
So, get out of here.
Hey, shut up. I can't.
You can look when you get home.
Damn it.
Jeez, I'm going to yell at this guy during the fucking show.
At least you didn't slap me in front of you guys.
I should have. What was I doing? So
that is domestic dispute on camera.
What can be unburdened by what has been. It's cute, like it's funny, because you hear it over and over and over. It's like, man, this fucking broad. But then it was brought up. I can't remember. I think it was on. Oh, what's his name? Podcast. No, wait, no. It was Charlie Kirk, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it to me.
Did I?
It's all about the Chinese guy?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Well, it was. He was talking about the guy was
Marxist
on Charlie Kirk's show was talking about how he doesn't think Kamala Harris is like this word salad thing that everyone's throws around.
Oh yeah,
which she does have word salad. There are a lot of things you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then this one specifically, he goes, this is a very Marxist thing to say.
Would you just fall out of a coconut tree?
Because yeah, there's stupid things. But then this specifically, he goes, this saying has been talking about socialist utopia for a long time. When the Bolsheviks took over Russia, and when Mao Zedong took over China,
MJ's dong,
and when they talked about, especially like destroying the four classics or the four olds of China, and be like, we're not gonna be connected to what we were. Like, what can we be? Unburdened by what has been. Like, that specifically is what they were talking about. What are you doing?
Nothing.
God, you have like fucking ADD.
I'm just smearing up your glass.
Yeah, and same thing with
if the Sebring is still alive, I'm pretty sure that mark is on the window still.
Probably still. Rain doesn't stay right there. But
it was on the inside, asshole.
Man, when I get all foggy, it doesn't fog right there.
There you go. That's better.
All right. Yeah, so it's socialist utopia thing. And like this guy was saying, like he believes that she knows what she is saying when she says that. But then again, maybe it's a whole as above, so below. Maybe she's a fucking Satanist. I don't know.
Or maybe she's a Republican sleeper cell. Because the right can be...
That's crazy. Isn't it
unburdened by what the left has done?
To me, anyway. Maybe it's just me because I've been black-pilled, red-pilled, whatever. However many pills, fucking Skittles. I see that in the most level-headed explanation. Like, well, maybe she's actually a Republican sleeper cell. Is the craziest one to me. It's like, no, she's either a Satanist or she's a Marxist. Like, honestly, I think the Marxist is fucking probably the one.
Sad but true, but is there a possibility that it could be any of the three?
What if it's all three? Fuck me. Jeez.
In this social utopia, I'm not about to do that. Sorry.
Oh, no.
You're a handsome fucking dude.
It's unburdened.
I'm not about like
unburdened.
Helping you unburden that load.
And then there's in regards to Kamala, there's the whole Tulsi Gabbard.
Kamala Harris.
Ugh. Yeah, there's the Tulsi Gabbard debate.
She put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence.
I remember that.
Evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. Bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
The response to that was because Kamala had a response, and I saw some people talking about, yeah, but her response like clears it up, and I'm like, okay, let's listen to it. And
please tell me you have that response.
The response, I might. I didn't save it.
What can be unburdened?
Shut up, you. I did watch it. Maybe I favorited it. It's not in favorites. Maybe it's. Maybe I just have to look for it. Her response didn't answer anything. I'll find it.
No, it's okay. I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. I get the impression she basically did the most diplomatic response possible, where she kind of
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about re-entering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States. As the elected...
You know, the only thing that she specifically said as an example was legalizing marijuana in the United States, which is nationwide. They're like, that's an issue that every state is taking up. As far as her state went, under her administration, nothing was said. There was no, it's like, we believe we are doing blah, 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 and we believe that this should change blah, 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 and we also, my administration is working toward doing blah, 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 is these huge section blanket things to cover whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing, like, of each individual response or statement that Tulsi Gabbard gave, there was no definitive defense against any of it. It was just like, well, I'm going to say this thing, and so I'm going to like it.
You know what I'd like to see happen?
Another debate?
I'd like to see Trump, because I know Trump would do it too, and I know he wouldn't have to worry. I'd like to see Trump on that debate, Senator Harris or Vice President Harris. Please explain to us in detail, without dancing around the subject, the guy's situation where you blocked evidence that would have freed him. And if you explain in detail and give up all the information, I will bow out as president. You know she won't answer.
That would actually be fantastic. I don't think Trump would do that because he's a little more alpha male in his approach to everything. But that would be fantastic. I think that would be like a response that I would have. That would be a response to be like, okay, floor's yours. Explain.
And if you do, I'll leave.
Yeah. And
like,
that
really
hasn't been done yet.
You want it? You want it so fucking bad, you're willing to lie, cheat, and steal, and fake shit. Here's your opportunity to get what you want. That's me out. But give the people the truth.
Yeah. I think that would be fantastic. You notice, here's the thing.
And how fucking crazy would it be that they wouldn't do it still?
I know they won't. Speaking of debates, the first thing that was going around was like, well, Trump refused to debate Kamala. I think it was ABC.
Yeah.
But ABC has this major biases, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you could look at the first Trump-Biden debate, which just worked out in Trump's favor anyway. So. Yeah. But then, and the left, the left voter base went like, oh, he's afraid Kamala.
He won't debate her.
But then Trump listen, we'll do a Fox debate. Same thing happened, though, the other way.
Harris said, no, I'm not doing it.
And then, on top of that, with the, what the hell convention was it when Trump showed up and Kamala opted not to show up? The one where it was, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's been a couple days ago, and that one black lady there was sitting and just immediately went right after Trump.
the Black National Convention or something like that?
Was it that? Yeah, I just immediately went after Trump.
Honestly, that's a horrible way to start a question. Not a hello.
Yeah, it's like not even a hello or anything. But here's the thing: is what they conveniently leave out is Kamala was supposed to be there, and then evidently Trump showed up, and Kamala said, "Oh, I can't make it now." I'm like, why? Why can't you? Why don't you be there?
You need to be.
To me, that is from a pro wrestling fan, that is a typical heel move. Yeah, I'll take you on, but not tonight. It's like, what? God. Let's see.
I want to start by addressing
National Association of Black Journalists. Yeah, it's a convention in Chicago. That was the one.
Yeah.
And yeah, he showed up and she didn't. And now the whole Fox thing came out. It's like, listen, we're going to do this live audience and whatever, like a regular
debate.
Yeah, debate.
Not a scripted one like what Biden wanted.
She's like, no, I'll face you under my terms. All right, Triple H.
I'll fight you anywhere, anytime, any place, as long as it's where I want it, when I want it, and with how I want it to go down.
Yeah, it's going to be false count anywhere for me. And it's a standing 100 million count for you. Yeah. Jeez Louise. Yeah, and then Kamala is rushing the whole abortion thing as soon as she started. Like that, I've spoke on a whole bunch of times. Like the whole abortion thing. She's like, I'm going to change abortion, and every time I see anything with
back
this,
to where the government has the control, and you're very limited to what you can do.
Yeah, every
states.
time I see that, I'm like, no, you're not. You're not. Because as soon as you do, you lose that base of voters every election cycle. Like you could have fucking, I was gonna say cauterized. You could have codified it the first 2 years of this last presidency. And it wasn't done. And what was it, like 5 or 6 times in the last 50 some years when they had the House, Senate, and the presidency, and they didn't do a damn thing about it? Why? Because they're never going to. Because they're not going to solve that big of an issue where it swings emotional votes so much and emotional support. So be like, yeah, you're right.
They can't solve that issue.
Like, but I hope that there's people, at least some people, that are finally realizing, at least on that side of the aisle for that issue, and be like, they're not doing anything here. And the fact that, like, Trump, anyway, gave the right back to the people.
I found Sasquatch.
I know. To vote however they want. I'm like, that's, like, the best option you could ask for.
Yeah.
Because if it's on, one, I don't think the government should have anything. The government should take care of finances, which they can't even fucking do that. But now you're asking them to do everything else that has nothing to do with government. Like, they should take care of those things. Not who you can marry. Not whether or not you can get an abortion. Like, these are things that the government should have nothing to fucking do with. Yeah, the government shouldn't even have anything to do with that. That's my opinion, though. I think they should abolish
here's the only issue I have. And it might sound a little left-leaning, but... So, in a lot of other foreign countries, do states have their own control over their education system?
I don't know. I think it depends on the country, but
the ones that are beating us don't. It's government ran,
right?
And
like China.
You know how much they? Okay, so put us in placement with that shit. We're like 20th in the list. Like out of a high school class of 50 kids, we're like 37th. Yeah. China's 1, and guess what? They have a government ran education based system. Now I'm not saying that we need to go to that extreme.
Right.
But I think a government standard that should be applied. I get it. The No Kid Left Behind. I get it. Some kids need different learning programs. Keep those systems in place. But in the same breath, there should be a government standard, not just of regents. Because sad but true now.
They're getting, we talked about that before. They're getting rid of New York State is anyway. They're getting rid of the regents.
Which is a problem. The regents is a government standard that puts us up there with the rest of the world.
Well, they're getting rid of, what was the reason? One was test scores. But there was another reason they're getting rid of it.
I might have
go back like a month.
I might have agreed years ago that the state should have all the say in what happens with the education levels. But in the same breath, obviously, in some degrees, in some instances, the states shouldn't have all authority.
Here's the thing with just to counter that argument, which I understand what you're saying, because China, their education system, their social media, which is highly regulated, they show, which is talked about before, they show their kids things in science and home projects and things like that, and then pro-government, their government, China good, U.S. bad, whatever. Yeah. But on the flip side, they're very organized on how they educate their kids. Now, going with your federal regulation, like there should be a standard. I understand what you're saying, and like this, like if everything went perfect, that would be awesome. If you went state regulation, where each state does their own thing, that in time will even itself out. Because you'll get a state that'd be like, I think we should do it this way. And they implement that system however they do it. But then this state does it a completely different way. Whether they're red, blue, both blue, whatever. Now, after however much time, those states are going to be like, wow, your test scores are way the fuck up here, and you are not performing. Now, where a federal regulation system would work there, would be like, well, you're not leaving those kids behind, but you're also not excelling these other kids over here. So that's kind of a mediocre, like we're keeping them balanced. Whereas in this other system where the states control it, you might have a situation where this state that's not performing is like, oh man, we got to change shit because this state, they are way like overperforming almost. So they change their curriculum to match this other state. And then the other states see how they're doing it and be like, oh man, like that, maybe that's a way to do it.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that China has the smartest people. I'm not saying that America doesn't have smart people. We have some.
No, I know you're not.
We have some of the most brilliant minds in the world. But in comparison, like if we went to war with China right now, what do they outnumber us by? 3-1, 5-1, 10-1?
What, they have like one? Oh God, I don't even know. It's like 2 billion or something like that, or 1 point some billion. I don't fucking know. It's like 1.3 like 20 years ago.
Look at the population of China. I'm gonna look at the population of America. And that'll drive my point home. What is the population of the United States? 333.3 million people live in the United States.
Yeah, 1.412 billion.
So what's that? A 3-to-1 ratio, basically?
It's like 4-to-1.
4-to-1.
Almost 5-to-1.
Okay, sad but true. That's also how their intelligence ranks. For every one brilliant mind that will literally compete with anybody in the world, they've got 3 or 4 of them.
Right.
So I'm not saying we have to go to their extreme. But maybe we should take a look at their education system, their social media platforming, or regulations. Maybe not promote the same things they do. China bad, U.S. good, or Russia bad, China, U.S. good.
I understand what you're saying.
When you sit there and go to a fucking car, a garage, and you see you change your brakes, and it's like, wow, this car doesn't stop. And I change my brakes, and you're like, wow, his car stops. You kind of want to model what I'm doing, don't you?
Right. But on the flip side, and this is where it gets like I said, and if it was operated perfectly, great. But the problem is you give one side too much power, and then you find ourselves in a situation where we're going down this road, or the car starting to veer down the wrong direction, and half the people are like, this is a bad idea. This is a fucking bad idea. And the other half are going, no, we have to do this.
So like, that's where you got to fucking make sure you don't fucking make that mistake.
Well, that's easier said than done, clearly. Look where we are. We have foreign people that came from countries where there's like, listen, when you start glorifying politicians and ignoring obvious falsities and fallacies and whatever, just to agree with some emotional, like this, you're going down a bad route.
So what people in America need to fucking do is grow up and take responsibility for their actions.
Oh, that's stupid. But yeah, so that's the problem. But hey, you can be a weirdo.
And that's the thing. Like, I said that to somebody else, like, oh, you're starting to sound like a Democrat. I'm like, it's an ideal. Yeah. Where our country, it's not, I don't care if it's a left ideal or a right ideal. I don't care if it's a communist ideal or a fucking Marxist ideal. I don't care.
It's a hard one to navigate, that's for sure.
I want this country to be fucking up there with the smarts.
I think the thing is, and again, this is just Joe Schmo from nowhere. Just looking at it, and whatever I see, it's the difference is now there's so many sets of training wheels on everything around us. And it's like, well, what about this person? What about this person? Like, there's no longer the pass-fail thing. There's like all these different tethers to guide people through. The problem is they get out in the real world and there is no more tethers, and this still goes on the school system.
And then their feelings are hurt and they protest.
Well, on one end. The other end is like, I need people that produce. You can't produce, go figure something out. And then after that, it's like, well, I can't do anything, so I need to protest, and I need more from the government, that's your Marxism. That's your socialist utopia. That just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. Look what happened that fucking summer. What, billions of dollars in damage?
Right. Look at Russia, communist Russia. Communism is to blame for so many deaths. But the idea on paper is like, listen, everyone makes equal. It's like, but it doesn't fucking work like that. It's been shown over and over. But it's one of those things like, yeah, but look, the paper says, my book says you're doing this wrong. How many bosses have you ever seen like that?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And like, you have never been out on the floor. This is how it's working, and this is how it doesn't work.
My job particularly.
Every job does.
They'll sit there and look at something and say, you can do that. No, you can't.
This is
by this, it looks like, yeah, but that also doesn't show you this, and this, which are going to cause a lot of damage if I try to push through.
Right. Now, but like this, my old job, I thought did it fantastically. If you went for a high position, you would have to start at the very bottom, 2 weeks at every single position up to that position. So you understood how it operated. Yeah. So you didn't just go out on the floor and be like, well, I think you should. No, you get it. Like and maybe I'm just going against my own point. Maybe we should go into that. Sure, go into a socialist utopia society, go into communism. Let's see how it works. And then it doesn't work. And like, fuck, wish we would have known. Deadpool.
Bye, VA. I would have been in Nova's Void.
I don't need anything over there. They're done. Also, I just finished them this morning.
Rising Star.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why, what'd you...
Rasengan.
What? Rasengan?
Rasengan. It's Naruto. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions.
What a...
Fuck you.
What a fucking nerd.
Oh, that's good, man. JCW.
JCW. What the hell is JCW?
ICW?
Oh, ICW, yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, I sold that belt a couple of years ago. Where do you see that? I'd like to re-get it again, but...
They look good, man.
I like the way the heavyweight title came out. I can't show you guys. I could probably show you the heavyweight title, but the other one's brand new and will be debuted Tuesday, actually. 2 days from today.
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday, because he'll be out the Cobleskill Fair, which I got to let him know if I'll be able to make it or not. So he's like, yeah, we'll give you a guest treatment so you won't have to pay and get in. I'm like, oh, thanks. So I might go to that.
You should.
Maybe. Well, I'm in charge of the district this week, so maybe. It's only Cobleskill, so I might go. I might go.
If kids can't survive, they don't deserve the future.
It's not the kids. It's the water. Yeah, I guess they're kids. They're all kids. It's the workers. Some of them argue and bicker like kids.
Oh.
But that's work, and fuck work. That's what everyone says. Deadpool.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Now he went and saw it, so now I can actually say more. But yes. I'm afraid I forgot half the shit. Luckily, you just saw it a couple nights ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so go ahead, take it away. Well, one thing I was talking about before, I will say, was the Chris Evans.
Oh my God!
He came, like, you could see, like, now that you saw, or I told you, so you knew what was coming.
No, you told me. I knew. You told me Chris Evans was going to be there. You did not tell me how involved it was going to be. So you lick my cinnamon brown dirt ring or something.
Yeah, I didn't say any of that.
You know what's fucked up too?
What?
I rethought about that scene while I was watching the end credit scene. I'm like, you never hear Logan say he never said that.
Yeah. All he did is go, you just got that kid killed.
Yeah. So will you shut up? You just got that kid killed. That's all Logan says.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, so he's gonna say it. Avengers, a flame on. I'm sorry, what now? That was golden. That was a good one.
And the others, oh my God.
Oh, Gambit, Blade, Electro.
Yeah. And Electro. And I was genuinely impressed. Channing Tatum did a good job.
A lot of people actually, that was one of the weak points. A lot of people didn't like Channing Tatum, which I don't really give a fuck either way. But
no, it was.
I was fine with it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think if they gave Gambit his own movie and Channing Tatum played it, he'd knock it out the park. Because the whole French accent, speaking French, the Cajun dialect, I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was fine with it. Like, Gambit's not one of my all-time favorite characters. It's nostalgia from the 90s cartoon, you know.
The only thing I didn't like was...
They should have had Jubilee in it. I know. That I was pissed she wasn't in it either.
Jubilee?
Fucking sparkler fingers, like, thwarted.
Jubilee and the fact that they only gave Gambit one power.
Oh, well, everyone knows him as the
card dealer.
Up-close magician or whatever the fuck that's.
Yeah. But, like, you find out in the comic book...
we're definitely not fucked.
In the comic book series, you find out, like...
Well, he has the ability to energize whatever he touches.
Anything he touches, yes. But he's also got, like, super agility.
Right.
And he's got super luck, which everybody was like, oh, Domino and Deadpool, too. No, she's not the first character to ever have luck. Because if you remember...
I think that's a kind of a fucking shitty superpower. Like, I'm lucky, like...
Domino did a good job with it, though.
Cool. That is, to me, that is the level of, what's your superpower, Meg?
Ow, he scratched me. I think he drew blood. No, but that really hurt.
But hey, whatever. I suppose you can write a story out of anything. So, whatever.
Oh my God. You were right, though. The Disney references were very tasteful. They were good little jabs.
They were there.
They were kind of... They were the perfect amount of jab and nod too. Like, hey, you guys didn't fuck up too much, but here's a little poke.
There were some pretty good jabs in there. Like, so right now, it's like this is the.
I don't want to be a gay.
I can't remember what at the beginning. It was like this is like the fourth phase or whatever. It's kind of a low point right now, and like.
Might sound crazy, but it ain't no.
That scene seemed to like go on forever, and
that was perfect. No,
doing like the entire sequence, like.
I think it was the perfect amount of intro.
I didn't expect the dance sequence to be as long as it was. Like,
I didn't expect Ryan Reynolds to map it out like that perfect.
Oh, I highly doubt that was Ryan. It was probably a dancer.
I hope not.
I mean, okay, whatever. but I'm almost sure that was a dancer. Either way, it got the point across.
Yeah, it did.
It was entertaining though.
Life is a mystery.
The soundtrack.
When they're doing the slow walk.
The soundtrack in it was something else too. It's like, man, they're just going like pop reference one after another after another after another.
I think it was.
Did you think it was too much fan service?
No.
I have to watch it again because it didn't. It was entertaining. It was funny. I thought the villain was kind of shitty.
It was a Paradox Nova hybrid.
Yeah, it was like Charles Xavier's twin or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, forgettable. That was kind of weak. The story was mid, I thought at best.
I think...
that's where I was like, and this is just me, but I'm like, the story is mid. By all means, it was entertaining. Like, I laughed a shit ton. It was entertaining. The fights were good. The Wolverine Deadpool fight, a couple of them were awesome because they were brutal.
The van one that went all night.
Yeah.
Fall asleep. And how many seatbelts does the Honda Odyssey actually have?
Like 18, if you notice, apparently.
He was strapped.
Yes. But it was, like the fight scenes were awesome. But my only worry, and it didn't make me not like the movie, but my only worry was like, I have a feeling like there's going to be a group of people that are going to run all over and be like, oh, it was nostalgic fan service one after another, kind of like what Star Wars does now. You know, it's like 5 minutes goes by and like, remember me, you know. but
member
it was.
berries.
I think the
South Park. Remember this?
Yeah, the saving grace was the point of the movie, at least on surface value, and I think that was probably the pitch that Ryan Reynolds was fighting for. Was this is more of a send off for the Fox Marvel universe?
Oh yeah.
So I think that's what allowed Ryan Reynolds to get away with a lot of things, a lot of little jabs at Disney. It's like, listen, this is the series or different franchises that set up what you're doing right now. So let me send these guys off. So that's why they more or less killed off all of them, X-23 and Gambit.
Well, no, they didn't technically die.
Not technically, but I think that was like what was supposed to be implied. But they left it open, probably so Disney could see, okay, what's going to get the most traction here, and maybe we could bring them back later.
Yeah.
But the idea, I think, was, all right, they're all dead. Like, Fox is dead. Clearly, the logo was half in the dirt, like Planet of the Apes. So, there it goes. But I was worried that I was like, man, is there too much fan service? But then it's Deadpool. So Deadpool has this kind of this extra layer of protection from that kind of label. So I'm like, maybe, whatever. Either way, like I said, I laughed my ass off during it.
Oh, it was definitely a damn good movie. The only thing, I think, my one complaint.
Go ahead. I just remember the scene.
I think
the snack line was too fucking long.
Was it?
At the movies.
Oh. No. I think. Oh, especially a Deadpool fashion. The sequence, the opening sequence was great.
Right.
But the intro, I think they went a little too CG.
What exactly?
So you remember Deadpool 1?
Right.
It starts out, everything's still framed. Everything's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Just call me Angel in the morning. Whatever, as they're going through, and then it starts. Throughout the whole fight scene, I don't know.
You mean the fight scene was too CG?
No, I think it was. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing. So the first two movies had the whole still frozen. No.
I'm just curious how much the movie cost. Keep going.
I don't know. There were a couple parts where I was like, all right, a little over the top for the effects. Excuse me.
Like as what though? I don't example.
I don't know. I'd have to see it again. It just. I don't know. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of hard to put my finger on it. Oh my God. The one scene. When he puts his claws on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
I can't stop. God, this hurts so much. Why can't I just die? What are you doing? And he's just all hold still, and they all look at the guy that just came to the time portal.
$205 million?
That's not bad.
No.
It blew it out the water, though. They got their money back and then some.
But you know what kind of chaps my ass, though? Is... I don't know if you've watched it. I think it's on Netflix and stuff now. I'm pretty sure it is. It's on Amazon. The Godzilla -1 from last winter.
Oh, yeah.
Had a budget, what was it, $15 million? And it was extremely low in comparison to now, and the way that movie looked, it was stunning. And after that, everyone's like, how come this movie can spend $15 million and make a movie that looks like that, and then you have some of these newer Marvel movies that cost $200, $300, $400 million, and it looks like half the quality? There's a problem here.
I think that's that's what I'm trying to get at. Thank you very much for doing the research. Because for the amount of money that movie cost to make, some of those it's okay, that's a good scene.
The idea is good, but it looks like more video game cutscene.
Yeah, almost.
Granted, some video game cutscenes are really good, but it's still a video game. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you can see that in a lot of movies, and Deadpool is just one of them, where the CG is like, yeah, that. I mean, you notice CG when like it's there, unless it's one of those small things that's just like, oh, we're gonna correct some shading or something like that, where you don't even pay attention to it. And then there's like this whole scene is CG, and you always know it, but there's a difference between knowing it's CG and just having it stand out, like standing in front of a blue screen, 1991.
Yeah.
Like the Goonies when they're looking at the they're looking at the map and they're looking at the 3 islands. And it's a blue screen. You can tell it's blue screen, and there, you see the foreground. It's like he's holding up the thing, and there's Chunk in the side, and he's looking off nowhere.
Oh,
and there's this black line around all of it, like that. Like I know what this is, and I understand what they're conveying in the picture, but come on, it just sticks out.
A little too noticeable.
It's like you watch like a class photo, a class picture, and there's all these kids that are this tall, and there's the one in the back that's 7 feet tall. It sticks out like that. So yeah, in regards to that, I understand what you're saying.
But
there's a really long-winded explanation of what you're saying.
I like how nice Deadpool, nice pool,
yeah. Yeah, I can break the fourth wall gently.
Hey, no, you can't. He runs up to him.
The proposal.
It's like, you can't do that. That's a Deadpool break.
What?
Fourth wall break. It's not a fourth wall. That's like 16 walls. Well, that was like 16 times 16 then.
Yeah, that was good. Oh, when I was like, I started to giggle before when they went to the TVA.
Oh yeah.
And Deadpool gets dressed up, and there's like 8 ass smacks,
yeah,
and crotch grabs. He goes, "Yeah," and
your tailor's spot on, and a predator.
Yeah, he goes, "I think your tailor's spot on." And the closet predator, or whatever the hell he said.
No, I like the first Wolverine he finds when he does the Wolverine search montage.
Yep. He gets off he jumps off.
Oh, it's just a little guy.
That was comic book accurate Wolverine.
Yeah.
But boy, after that scene, like now, comic book accurate Wolverine, I could be wrong, but is forever a joke. Especially because they made him jump off a stool.
Yeah, he
like Peter fucking Dinklage. Like, it's like one of those memes you used to see where like you see a midget or whatever fuck run down a dock and jump into the water and whoop, whoop. Yep. That's the equivalent of that scene.
Or they're throwing the javelin and it's some guy toothpick. Oh, there you go.
But that's the equivalent of that scene. That's the same vibe that scene gave off.
Oh my god!
It was funny, but at this, like, immediately I'm like, that's comic book accurate Wolverine. But I can't take it serious.
Well, neither did Deadpool. Oh, you got a lot of anger.
That didn't help at all.
No, God, no.
But then after that, what do we have in the all those? We had. Not the Maestro, but like the
Patch Wolverine.
The Wolverine that was at the casino.
Yep. I have him. I have his Funko.
Where it's that, and it was also him with Hulk, Grey Hulk, and he had Grey Hulk had the same outfit, whatever, in that comic book series.
Oh yeah, I like you see the Hulk.
Then they had Wolverine versus Hulk with the yellow and brown suit, the old one.
Yeah, he was like, yo, I know you're still mad about the whole Hulk thing.
Hey, oh yeah, he comes through and he goes, "Hey, you fought the Hulk in this suit." And then he turns around and he sees, he goes, "You dog creature, I am Jesus, Marvel G."
Which, what's the first thing you thought of when you saw that?
It was Loki.
Yeah,
of course.
I am a god. You will not.
Puny god. Yeah, so you dog creature, I am Marvel Jesus, and I will not be. Yeah, then he had the, what was it, the cover, was it 215? X-Men 215, the one where he's crucified on the huge X with all the skulls, which I have no idea about that story arc or anything. And
I looked into it a little bit after the movie.
I have no idea what the story arc is.
I'll let you research
it. But there was that scene. There was the 1980s Origins Weapon X scene, the one where he's missing one hand. He's got the huge fucking mutton chops.
Oh,
he's in that back alley.
Oh, yeah.
That one. That's the one.
There's the biker one.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
That was awesome. He turned around. I'm like, I didn't see that one coming. I haven't really followed post or pre-production or any production of the movie, just whatever drama would come out with Ryan Reynolds facing Disney. So I went into this movie probably the best way you could. The movie's coming out, and it's a battle. Ryan Reynolds fighting Disney. Cool. That's all I knew. I had no idea of cameos. I didn't know. So I went in completely green, and boy, I'm glad I did. So I went in, and then Henry Cavill turns around, and then he goes, "Oh my God, it's the Cavalier." Or he goes, "The Cavalier." The Cavaline.
He goes,
"You were just leaving." He goes, "Oh my God." He goes, "This just seems right. God, we will treat you so much better than those shitbags down the street. You were just leaving." And then he does the fucking James Bond. He cocks his arms right before he hits him, and the spikes come out. And I was like, "Oh fuck!"
I loved it. I think Henry Cavill could have been a very good Wolverine.
I think he still could be.
You know what's sad? And I've seen like people have done like fan art. Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. He's short. He's got the facial structure. He has the hairstyle. And when that kid was jacked up for the one movie he was doing,
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Like he'd have to bulk up.
I would say, like just because, oh man, he's Wolverine, so I don't know. But minus one gripe I had, what's his face, from Twilight that played Batman, Peter.
Oh, Robert Peterson.
And he played Bruce Wayne, Batman. That was good.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like is he looked like a fucking emo kid when he didn't have his cowl and everything on.
Yeah.
He just had like the I was like, dude, if you just cut that and slicked it back like a businessman, like I thought it would have been great. But he looked like he looked like he was in the Misfits or something. Like that was my one gripe with that. So whatever. But so maybe I'd be afraid he'd be like, hey, it's Harry Potter, and that would overshadow it. But again, Batman. So maybe.
Yeah, it'd be worth a shot. I mean, even if it was just like a something.
Yeah. So, what else? What other?
Is this wheel guy?
What other?
That's still the best thing. One of the best scenes in that movie.
Then the last post-credit scene too, with at the very end when he gets a recording of Johnny Storm run his mouth. Goes,
that's what I'm saying.
Got you, little fucker, whatever the hell.
Like, I'm tired. I want to sell this right now. I'm tired of everyone thinking I got Johnny killed.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what else taps my ass? He's sitting there just going, I'm like, gotcha, fucker.
So all in all, what do you rank the movie? Well, first, what do you rate it, and then where do you rank it among all the other Marvel movies?
Among all the other Marvel movies or Deadpool? You got to be very specific here.
Marvel as a whole,
I would give it a solid 8.
We'll just say, is it in your top 5 Marvel, top 10? There's got to be 35 Marvel movies at this point, including all.
Deadpool and Wolverine, definitely top 10. Because of the nods, the digs, the fourth wall. But I've always been a Deadpool fan. Even before the first one came out. As a matter of fact, I remember when I worked at a certain distribution center, when everyone's like, what's this movie coming out? Ryan Reynolds did something. He's trying to pitch a movie. Remember they did the teaser to get somebody to bite to make the movie?
Right. Yeah. And I was that's still not official. But everyone, I think, is in agreement. That was Ryan Reynolds releasing that.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no official anything.
Yeah, no. So when that dropped, everyone's like, was this the Deadpool? Who the fuck? Or somebody was like, who is this crazy guy? Look, have you seen this? It's supposed to be some new comic book superhero. I'm like, that's Deadpool. Deadpool, who the hell's that? Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
What's up?
There's a few Marvel movies.
Coming out?
No, just so far.
What are you looking up?
Okay, these are the ones that are coming up too, including them. How many Marvel movies there are?
Oh, there's a lot.
Well, I'm at 100. But this is going back to 1984, 5, Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
86.
Punisher.
Yep, The Punisher,
With
Captain
Dolph
America, 1990, Fantastic Four,
original one.
94, Blade, X-Men, Blade 2, Spider-Man, Daredevil, X-Men United, Hulk.
Elektra, she got her own movie.
Yep, that's down probably somewhere. Yep, Elektra, Man-Thing.
Yep.
Fantastic Four with Johnny Storm. Yeah, so this is going all the way back to that. So out of all those, and probably about 50 of those conservatively are dog shit. Because, I mean, you got to start somewhere. You got to make your dog shit to fertilize the soil before it can actually grow into something.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
There weren't many bangers back then. It definitely didn't start well with Howard the Duck.
Well, no. So here's the thing, though. Those movies, if they were released today as is, dead flops.
Oh, yeah.
Back then?
They were flops. They were flops back then. No, Howard the Duck was not. That release, everyone's like, what the fuck? I mean, they had bestiality in it.
It's a good movie. Shut up.
So, listen, you can't judge a movie's quality by nostalgia alone. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can.
I do not.
So you're wrong. I don't care what you say. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is one of the best fucking movies ever.
It is a good movie.
I know it is. That's why I just said it.
I almost got all 3 Funkos yesterday.
Did you? You should have. Well, if you include all the fucking clowns, there's probably like 12 or something.
Well, the 3 main.
It's like Shorty, Spike, and Jumbo. Or
Baby.
Slim. Well, there's
and then
there's Clownzilla. That was the giant one at the end.
No, there was...
Shorty's the...
Shorty was one of them.
That's like the most popular one.
Then there was the popcorn clown.
Oh, the one, yeah.
So there was 4 I could have gotten yesterday.
Well, that's one of the little side creature weapon, whatever you want to call it.
There was the big one with the hammer.
I think
Big Baby.
That was Spiky.
I don't remember. Hold on.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I'll look it up.
I have my phone in my hand, but I don't remember.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space Slave. Whoa.
What?
I don't know.
From Outer Slave.
Images.
Can you say that nowadays? Slave? I don't know.
So Baby Clown, I could have gotten him. No, it wasn't Bibbo.
Bibbo.
It wasn't Slim. Jumbo. It was Jumbo.
Jumbo. I have
Baby
Jumbo.
Clown, Jumbo, Shorty, and Fatso.
Fatso.
Those were the 3 that I could have grabbed. Yeah, and that's the...
In Funko?
In Funko. And that was the Jumbo I found. And the only reason I didn't get it is because the other 2 were different versions, so they didn't have the same box.
I would have got them anyway. Especially because you don't know.
Yeah.
What was it? There's... I can't remember the company, but they had this pack. This was like 10 years ago. Of Jaws, the shark. It's a Jaws pack with Quint, Hooper, and Brody, and then the shark.
Oh yeah.
And it went for $40, and now it's like $250. So you never know. That's why you just pick it up. Speaking of like you never know, last night SummerSlam.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was pretty good.
I didn't watch it.
It was good. I was gonna get a hold of you, see if you want to come over and watch it.
You should have. I kind of thought about it. About 8:30 or something. Like,
I wish you had. You should have just shot me a text. Hey, mine. I was like, yeah, sure. Fuck, come on over.
Fuck, man. See, the problem is we don't hang out anymore.
I know. You know what's?
We do our podcast.
You know what's funny is, I was listening to. I don't even fucking know what the hell it was. It just happened. They were talking about just that. It's like it's weird. Just like when guys get older, they just stop hanging out. It's usually they get together to accomplish something, but there's no, and I don't even think this is guys, it's just across the board. It's like when you were kids, you would show up at their house, knock on their door, and be like, hey, is whatever home? They're like, yeah, or, you know, they'd open the door,
yeah,
and you go outside, it's like, what do you want to do? It's like, I don't know. And that was it. Now, granted, you know, you don't have any responsibility, and time is of the essence.
At that point,
that doesn't happen anymore. And I'm like, that's a good point. Because, yeah, usually when we get a hold of each other, it's like, hey, you want to go do this thing?
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. I'm like, that's a good.
It was Great Escape. That was like a real that was a hangout sesh.
It was, but that was more for the kids. That was like, I gotta go do this thing, like dad stuff. Want to come be a dad too?
Well, you got the bang bangers, don't you?
The what? Oh, the pew pews.
The pew pews.
Is that what they call it on the internets now? The pew pews.
Yeah, you got a couple of pew pews, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you come out with me next weekend?
What day?
Tell me.
I'd say there's something going on Saturday. I can't remember what it was. We'll plan for Saturday.
Saturday evening.
But I don't know if there's something going on.
What we could actually do, because here's the best part about where the setup is. There's a little charcoal grill.
Is there?
A couple seats. Yeah.
Oh. Speaking of, actually, going back to what I was talking about before, there's been a couple times I've been sitting out there like in the morning, go out, usually 7, 8 in the morning, and have a fire for 3 hours. I was like, I should get a hold of Charlie. I'm like, I'm not gonna bother him.
Fucking bother me, dude. You know what I'm doing from fucking 6 a.m. to about 10:30 every Saturday morning?
That's what I'm doing out there.
God, there's nothing on TV.
Oh my God, no, I don't watch it. I can't fucking watch TV.
So then TikTok.
Sometimes I research.
Third cup of coffee.
I research
Well, this is
things.
fucking boring.
I research things for the show. I'll be
Fuck
sitting out
that.
there, listen to things. I'll be in front of a fire, or a lot of time, most of the time, I'll sit out there and I'll just look at like nature. I'll just watch the like trees move in the breeze and sip on a coffee and be like,
"You're watching.
I need this."
Heterocultural porn, aren't you?
Yep.
You're watching trees touch each other and pollinate.
Rub.
So we're basically doing the same thing every morning.
I get their seeds all over me.
Wow, in the videos I watch, it's not me getting covered in seeds.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
All right.
And every now and again, I think of you, and I'm like,
there you go. Well, here's the thing, man. Like, it's the same. You know, we gotta fuck. It's the same goes both ways. There have been plenty of times I'm like, what the fucking James is doing? We got. No one's around. No one's doing nothing.
The only thing I will say is, yeah, just get a hold of me, because a lot of times this is why I've told like my daughter. She always like, I'm bored, and I'll say, girlie, I haven't been bored in like 20 years. I always have something going on.
Yeah.
Like I always fill my time with something. Maybe it's my way of coping with like buried emotions or something. I don't know.
Laughing, hide real pain.
But funny. But no, like I always like, my issue is like, oh, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do that, and then I just fucking do it. So I always have something going on. Right now I'm back into leather work. I got straps from a guy in Connecticut that's sending me a belt to redo, and then I gotta redo that one and sell it. But there's always something going on. But most of it is stuff I was like, yeah, I'll do that, and I can just put it down unless it's on a time frame or something.
Yeah.
I can put it down and go. So yeah, you just gotta get a hold of me.
All right.
But yeah, next Saturday we'll gun for Saturday unless there's something going on.
We'll gun for Saturday.
Yeah, that's a common saying, isn't it?
I like that. That's good.
I'm gonna shoot for Saturday.
As long
shoot
as
for what time? We'll gun for Saturday and shoot for a specific
as long
time.
as we're on target, we should be all right.
Yeah.
With that target time.
Right. All right.